Welcome back, guys. So today I got something really cool. We have the ZULUS version 2 3x12 day and nighttime scope. Let's check it out. Let's get into it. All right, so just right off the get-go, DNT did not send this to me. I paid for this with my own money. I think it was around July 4th. They had a sale going on, and I decided to pick up this particular version. One, because it's pretty budget friendly compared to your other night vision and thermal scopes. And I wanted something that I was going to be able to take out in case I do some sort of night hog hunts or even just deer hunts, taking it out to super early in the morning to kind of right before that sun comes up, where it's time of limited visibility and you wanted to kind of scan the area for when the sun does come up, so you can kind of prepare on if there's a deer out in the field, you can keep an eye on them while it's still dark. Obviously not shoot them. Anyway, not shoot the deer, we're trying to stay legal. So, but the main reason for this is I like the feature that I'm able to use this during the day and at night. So the whole purpose why I wanted to get something with me is I could use this as a standalone device as well when I'm going up, saddle hunting to see what's around me or what's on the ground, or if there's a deer out in the field coming towards me before the light's out. So probably will use this as a standalone device just to go out and kind of see what's out there. Because sometimes I'm hanging from a tree and it's dark and I hear movement and kind of curious to what's out there. So I was actually able to test this thing out at night, and I was able to push out the IR illuminator a really long distance actually. So I think I pushed it out to 200 to 300 yards, give or take, and it did well. I mean, there's some brush. If it gets in the way, it's kind of flood out the light a little bit, but for the most part, it's doing a solid job. But overall, not bad. Pretty happy with it. I did run into some wildlife, so here's some videos, some deer that are hanging out. These deer were about 50 to 70 yards away from me. Actually, some nice bucks in this bachelor group hanging out. And this right here is pretty much why I got this optic. So I'm able to, one, hunt at night when I'm going out, just deer hunting when deer season kicks off, and I'm out there before the sun's up. I'm able to scan the area to kind of see what's out there. If there are bucks out there, if there are deer out there, as soon as the light comes up and it's legal shooting light, I can just switch that thing to daytime, take my shot, and I'm good to go. And it brightens up the area pretty good. You're able to see really good detail of what kind of animals out there and what you're actually looking at. If you're hog hunting, you're able to use this optic as well. I think it'd do really well versus a thermal or night vision optic that's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So it has a bevel on the front where your IR illuminator is, and you're able to bring the cone of that light closer into a smaller circle, or you're able to open it up a little bit and get a bigger picture out there and open up that light a little bit to be able to scan everything else. I got it here today on my Savage Access chambered in 300 blackout, which is probably going to live on here. But the cool thing is you can have 10 customizable profiles on this thing. So 10 zeros, so you can switch this optic around from gun to gun and not have to re-zero it every single time, as long as you know what rail you put it on or what marking you put it on. I don't have any thermal optics or any night vision setups, so I wanted to kind of get into that market, and I think this was the perfect choice at the time. It's budget friendly, it's not super expensive. So this is the ballistics version, so you do have a ballistics calculator inside the optic, as well as a laser rangefinder right here on the side with the red button. I have not shot and used the ballistics calculator, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down below. If you haven't heard of them, Texas Plinking did a review on this where he used the ballistic rangefinder with the laser rangefinder and shot it out to some distance, I believe on a 308 rifle. So I'll go ahead and link that down below if you want to check that out. This thing has so many options. You have several different, I want to say it's 6 or 7 different reticles you can pick from. You can pick different colors for your reticles. yards, meters, MRAD, MOA. There's just all kinds of settings. This thing so far is pretty impressive. Once you're zoomed in, and I'm going to show some stuff here on the screen, at about 500 yards, it starts to get a little pixelated. And again, this is a 3x12. This isn't the, you know, the other one I want to say is a 5 by something, 5x25 I want to say, but this is the 3x12. So if you're going to zoom in all the way, yeah, it's going to get a little pixelated with it, you know, it being a digital scope and all. It does take a little time to get used to all the buttons and the controls. That took me about, you know, a couple of days sitting there playing with it just to kind of get it down packed. But again, I'm kind of slow, so things take me a little bit. I suffer from CRS. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's can't remember shit syndrome. So learning this takes me a little longer than most people. The zeroing process. So pretty simple zeroing process. The first time I had it out, the instruction manual, what it tells you to do is you're going to go into the setting mode where it says zeroing process. I want to say it's like the second one down from the settings. You're going to go in that. You're going to aim your rifle or aim at your target. You're going to take a shot. Once you've taken your shot, you're going to return to the point of aim. You're going to freeze the frame so it freezes the actual picture of your target. And then you can scroll down and go to the X and Y axis where you're able to adjust. And what you're going to do is you're going to move your reticle to your point of impact, go down, hit save, and you should be dead on. The first time I had it out here, it worked out perfectly. This time I had a little trouble. I was kind of chasing it a little bit, but I think that might have been more me than the optic. Once I started realizing I'm kind of chasing my rounds here, I slowed down, used my fundamentals, practiced my trigger squeeze, and just really focused on getting that perfect shot. Also, having some sort of gun sled is gonna help you freeze that frame, because once you press it down, it has a tendency to kind of move on you a little bit. So if you have a gun sled and you have this thing strapped down, it's going to be a lot easier than what I'm doing. But that's how the zeroing process works. With the zeroing process, you have up to 10 profiles that you can save. So you can use this thing on 10 different rifles and have it saved to the zero for each of those 10 different rifles, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm going to get confused, so I'll probably have a little cheat sheet with profile 1, profile 2, profile 3, and what gun it's actually 02. Up front here, this dial is for your fine focus, so as you zoom in and out, or as you're looking at different distances, you can fine focus that picture image with the front bevel here. And then obviously you have your magnification lever back here to be able to zoom in and out. This thing, the eye cup, what I have done or been doing is kind of just pushing it forward, and that way I don't have to push my eye all the way against it, and you can actually see the image pretty well. On the left side, you have your battery compartment. So when I ordered mine and I received my package, I got 4 batteries with a charger. I'm not sure if that was a special. I want to say they ship it with 2 regularly, but it's something that I would maybe ask about. But I got 4 batteries. On the right side of the optic, this little screw is where you can connect your USB-C cable to your computer. Now, make sure whatever USB-C cable you got with the optic is the one that you need to use, because it will not connect if you're just using some random USB-C cable. Trust me, I know this for a fact because I did exactly that. I threw my USB-C cable with all my other cables. One day I went to go try to download my footage and it would not connect to the computer. So I tried a couple different cables and kind of got frustrated, called customer support, very nice lady, and informed me that I needed to make sure I used that cable that came with the optic. So I decided to go through all my cables to figure out which one it was, and sure enough, I ended up finding it and it connected to the computer. But she also did send me out a new cable, which is awesome. It arrived literally the next day. So thumbs up, DNT Optics. Awesome customer support. Now you can also use your phone. DNT does have the app that you download. You go through Wi-Fi, connect the optic, and you're able to download the footage that you have on here. But overall, you have all your buttons at the top. You have your power button, your settings button, and all these do different features. So if you press and hold one, it does something different. If you fast click it, it does something different. But A lot of options with this thing. You can literally just do all kinds of stuff with this day and nighttime scope. Super impressed with it so far. Let's do some shooting and see how it does.